Hi, I'm Rhonda Morkes Dehn. I am third generation owner and chocolatier. Today we are going to show you how to do a 3D, 3-foot Easter bunny. So, starts with molds. Every molded item starts with some kind of a form that the chocolate gets poured into. So, this is the bunny. This is what will be in chocolate. It is 2 pieces. Anytime you do 3D, it has to be 2 pieces that are put together. We are going to do this, what we call semi-solid, okay? There is a difference between hollow and semi-solid, and obviously a difference between solid. Now if we were to do this solid, we would fill both sides up, and we'd cool them and pop it out. It's probably a little easier to do because you just fill them and close it. However, it's harder to carry and it's harder to eat. It's going to be around 70 pounds if it's solid, and then you have to like stab the Easter bunny a lot to break it open. What we like to do, because of those 2 reasons, it's easier to carry, it's easier to eat, and it gives you a lot of chocolate, 30 pounds of chocolate. We like to do semi-solid. Now that means we fill half of the bunny up, and then we put them together and we roll and roll and turn and turn and roll and roll, and because you have to have a nice even layer inside the bunny. When you undo it, you don't want to have one vulnerable spot. So we are going to fill them up. In this case, we're going to fill each half up. It's easier because then I have to flip. Once I fill each one, I have to flip them. And also the reason I do that too is because, as you can see, there's a lot of texture to this Easter bunny. So I want to make sure that there's no little air pockets in any of these little sections. So that is the reason I do fill them up each halfway, which is equivalent to filling one up completely halfway, so that I can make sure that the air pockets come out of here. So we are going to start. We do have a frame that we use. It's much easier when we roll it. It's a wooden frame. You put the mold in here. I'm going to go over by where the chocolate is, and I'm going to start to fill this one out halfway. Now, as you can see, I have a beautiful white apron on. Can't guarantee it's going to be white when I'm done with this. This is a pump. So the melter is filled with chocolate, and this chocolate shoots through. It makes it a lot easier to fill items up. You can measure it too. I've already weighed this because I do want to have an even amount of chocolate in it. So I will fill this up halfway, and I'll check it again. I'll weigh it again to make sure that I'm right there before I am done filling this side before I start the other side. As you can see, I have this process where I fill in all the air pockets. On a lot of our other molds, our smaller molds, I use what's called a vibrating table, which shakes. You put the mold on top and it shakes, shakes, shakes. I like to do this with a larger mold because it takes a while to fill it, so while I'm standing here anyways, I can make sure that these air pockets are all filled up. And the Easter bunny has a beautiful coat. What we're showing you here is obviously a large mold, is 3 feet. It's the same process though with any size molds that you're making that you want to do, either solid, semi-solid. It's the same kind of process. Other than the smaller molds, like I said before, I would fill up half of it and then put them together and continue to roll them. Where this, as you'll see, I'll put chocolate in both halves. Okay, so what is the difference between semi-solid and hollow? Well, hollow, there's some companies that make Easter bunnies that are in foil. And what they do is they actually spray the chocolate into that foil. And it's very, very, very thin. So you are buying foil, probably more foil than you are chocolate. So something that's hollow has a very thin amount of chocolate around all of the ends. Where when you open up a semi-solid, is what we do, there is a substantial amount of chocolate, but there's still a little section in the middle that has no chocolate in it. I'm going to go weigh it now. Wait for my pump to stop. can see, there's a good amount of chocolate in here. So I'm going to weigh it. I'll be right back. 22 pounds. I think I need a little more chocolate. Some people say they finished a spreadsheet. I say I finished a 3-foot bunny. Okay, now for my other half, I'm not going to use the wooden form because it's easier to, because I'm going to have to flip this side, so it's easier to flip it when I don't have the wooden form. And after I flip it, I will, after I flip it, I'll put the wooden form on it. Actually, I'm going to, because I have a little more space here, I'm going to put it up here too. So, I have never spilled any chocolate like this. Okay, so I'm going to put this down to, oops. Be able to see it better when it's a little lower. Now that I have a lot of chocolate in here. So, how many of these do we sell here? People say, wow, do you sell any of those 3-foot bunnies? 3-foot bunnies? Do you sell any of those 3-foot bunnies? People ask. Yes, we do. More likely to sell it to banquet halls for their brunches or for raffles than we are for an Easter dinner at someone's house. Okay. When two become one. It is a pretty mess. Oh, this is where I get it all over my apron. Alright, now I have the other side. A wooden form, and we squeeze. We want to have a nice seal on it. So I just start putting them in the holes. Alright, tighten them all up. They're all in. We're ready for rocking and rolling. I constantly am going to turn it around and around and make sure that each side has an even amount of chocolate. Even. Turning it up. I lost some chocolate. I didn't do too bad. I've had my moments. Okay, going into the cooler. We're going to go head first right now. And it'll be a process of every 15-20 minutes I'm going to come and I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to put it on its head now, and I'll come back, I'm going to put it on its tail, feet. Then I'm going to turn it this way, this way, this way, so it has an even, even amount of chocolate. Good. So now I'm going to flip it because again, even amounts. Right now it is on its ears, bunny ears. I'm going to put it on its bottom side. you see that? See how this is starting to change color from a brown to this? See? Look at how it's starting to cool. Actually, what I'm going to do when it starts to do that is I'd like to loosen these, because if they stay too tight, it can lead to cracking. So that's something to know, that when you are molding, if you have a piece that's a 3D piece that cracks a lot, you need to sometimes take the clips off, or at least loosen them up. I'm loosening up the bottom one right now, so that, and still leave it in. It's not done, but I want it to be able to expand as it cools, and I want to give it the room to do that by still allowing it to cool down. So if you ever have that issue where something constantly cracks, try to loosen it a little bit and see if that works. All right, we're going to take it out and see our beautiful bunny. Yes, there have been occasions where I've gone through all of this and the bunny has cracked on me. So it's always a little bit attention to suspense. It's always a little bit of suspense about how is it going to come out. So let's see how, and you can see how it's all separated now. So it's a sign that it is cooling down. Take all of these out. So now I'm going to take the frame off here, and I'm going to turn this over. Gently. Take the other frame off. This is the 3-foot chocolate Easter bunny brought to you by Morkes Chocolates.